Hey, what's going on YouTube? Thank you for coming back to another episode of Scattered Brilliancy. My name is Travis, and I may be looking a little different because I'm using my new camera that I got for my birthday. My birthday is December 17th, so my wife let me open the gift that she had gotten me early. So it's gonna be my first video with the new camera. The camera I've been using for the past few videos has been my iPad Pro, and the camera I had before that, it was just on its last leg, so it was time for me to get a new camera. So I'm excited, and I guess I'll see how this all looks when I edit it. But I didn't really want much of anything. I just kind of wanted to come talk to y'all. I hate having long gaps where I'm not talking to y'all and I'm not saying anything. So one thing that's been on my heart recently is the importance of holding on to your values and making sure that you don't compromise them for anybody. Lately I've been very reflective about my life and the things that I've made, the choices that I've made in my life and how they've affected who I am today. And I was watching my confessions video about being the other man, and I realized that in that video and in the confessions video about going through my ex's phone, there was a common thread. And the common thread was in both of those situations where I was the other man and when I went through my ex's phone, I had compromised my values, and that led me to that point. I made a video a long time ago about not lowering your bar of tolerance, not accepting less than whatever your standard is. And I don't know if that video is still up or not, but I'm just gonna kind of retouch on it. So if it is, I'll probably end up taking it down. But I don't know everything. And I don't want anybody to think that I know everything. But I have been through a few things, and I have been through some trials and some tribulations, and I have come out wiser than I was before I went in. And I feel like it's only right as a man, as a black man, as a human being, to share the experiences and the things that I've been through so that it can help somebody. Because granted, no, I'm not a huge YouTuber. Who knows if I'll be one day. But of the 1,600 subscribers that I have, if one person catches this message and it does something for them and it changes their life, then my purpose was served for this video. So I just wanted to talk briefly, and I do mean briefly, about the importance of, number one, having values, and number two, not compromising those values when it comes to other people or situations. Values are so important. We all kind of have them naturally, and we can even refer to them as standards. And I'm not even just really focused on relationships, but that is what my confessions video was about. And I'll kind of retouch on those if you haven't seen them. But it's very, 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 very important. I can't stress enough how important it is to have standards for the stuff that you will tolerate and the stuff that you will not tolerate. And one thing that I've noticed just from observing people and listening to people's stories and watching the things that people go through is a lot of us, myself included, we all end up in jacked up situations because we lowered our bar of tolerance. We allowed something to happen in our life that we had the option to keep from happening. We had the power to stop it from happening, but because of the person, because of the curiosity of the situation, we allowed ourselves to be in a situation or allowed ourselves to go through something that just was not even necessary. I do believe that we are all put on this earth for a purpose. I believe that we are all given a certain set of bad times that we're going to go through, and a certain set of bad things that we have to encounter that are going to shape and mold us into the person that we are now. But I also believe that we also bring more drama and more stress on ourselves when we make poor choices. So for example, in the video where I talked about going through my ex's phone, I don't remember if I actually said it in that video because I didn't go back and watch it, but I know now today that I should have never been with her. The girl that I was talking about in that video, I know that I should have never been with her. And I lowered my bar of tolerance. I compromised my own values just to be with her. I can admit and say that at that time in my life, I was lonely. I didn't necessarily want someone to sleep with or something like that. I just wanted companionship. I wanted somebody to hang out with. I wanted somebody to go do stuff with. So when you get in those moments where you're feeling lonely and you're feeling desperate, which pretty much was what it was, when you get in those moments, you start kind of like scratching off stuff on your list for the kind of person that you want to be with. And I'll talk about relationships because that's what I feel like I'm very experienced in, with relationships between the sexes. So at that time in my life, I was like, I want somebody so bad, because I've always been the kind of person I am. I've always really enjoyed being in relationships. I've always wanted to be a one-woman kind of guy. It's happened for the most part, but that's always what I wanted. But at that time, I was like, I wanted something so bad. You're willing sometimes to kind of let up on some stuff just to be able to say you have it, or just to be able to have it. So, with her, and I think I said it in the video, we had started talking once, and I had found out that when we had dated or went on a date or something, I had found out that week prior to that she had had sex with her ex. And for me, that was a red flag, because I'm like, at that time also not knowing that people have sex without strings attached, but just to know that you were able to go there with him, and now the next week you're here with me. We're not doing that, but we're just kind of getting to know each other. That was the red flag, and I wasn't the type of person to do something like that. I wouldn't be the kind of person to be sleeping with somebody on a Wednesday and be dating somebody else on a Friday. That was not my thing. It ain't for me. So at that moment, I was like, it's okay. I'll deal with it because she's pretty. Or I'll deal with it because she's cool. And then not only that, things didn't work out because I stopped talking to her because of that reason. So I guess in that first moment, I did uphold my values and I did stick to my guns. And I was like, okay, I'll stay. Even though she just did that with her ex last week. And then there was the second issue where she was texting the other dude about spending the night. So 2 red flags, two clear indications to me that she was somebody who I was never supposed to be in a relationship with. And so that was one moment in my life where I compromised my values, and I ended up in a 2-year plus relationship that definitely taught me stuff, but I kind of think was not needed, if that makes any sense at all. And the other time was, like I said, I was watching the video where I was talking about being the other man. I definitely had compromised my values, because I had prided myself on being the kind of guy that when I went to holler at you, when I went to try to, spit some of that game that I was spitting, which was probably whack. When I would go do that, my first question was always, what's your name? My second question was always, do you have a boyfriend? And in that particular instance, when she said yes, I stuck to my guns and I said, oh, okay. And I let it go. But her friends had to come along and ask me, can y'all be friends? And I should have just said no. I should have said, no, we can't be friends. She got a boyfriend and I think she's pretty. And it's not going to be a good idea for me to be friends with a girl that I think is pretty. So that, and I'm pretty sure y'all have all been through your own moments where you realized that you compromised your values and ended up in a really messy situation that you could have avoided altogether. I see women go through it all the time. Men, not so much, but not saying that they don't, just from what I've observed. Especially because, when you're in college, the college I was at, the ratio to men, guys to girls, the ratio was like 1 guy to every 12 girls. So it was a lot of girls. And I saw a lot of them go through a lot of situations that they could have avoided. Because when you know that you're better than a situation, it doesn't mean that you're better than the person. It just means you're better than the situation. You're better than to talk to a guy who has 5 baby mamas and a bunch of drama. You're better than that. You're better than that. You're better than to be with a guy who's gonna lie to you, who's lied to you before, or who's cheated on you before, and you take him back. You're better than to be with a guy who's giving you a venereal disease. You're better than that. And when you choose to go back to that person, when I chose to spend time with a girl who was taken, when I chose to keep entertaining somebody who really was not ready for a monogamous type relationship, I compromise my values because I'm better than that, and I'm worth more than to let somebody use me in the way that they use me, and we're better than to let people use us. Something had happened that made me kind of reflect on my life, and I don't even remember what it was at this point. But to my younger viewers, sometimes I'll be feeling like I need to give y'all a name. To my younger brilliancers, that's so stupid. To my younger viewers, especially my young girls, the young women who watch my videos, and young being, early 20s or whatever, it is so important that you have values. You need to have values for the kind of job you're going to accept. You need to have values for the kind of men you're going to date. You need to have values for what kind of friends you're going to keep. All of those things are important. When I graduated college, I couldn't get a job in my degree. I couldn't get a job. So, I wasn't stupid. I still had bills to pay. So I went and got a job at Walmart. 3rd shift. What a world I was in at that time to get a 3rd shift job at Walmart. It was the only 3rd shift job I had ever had in my life. And it was okay, but I knew I was better than being a cashier. You know, I just knew that wasn't my ending place, but I just felt like, not that I was above the job, but I could do better, you know? And maybe I settled. Maybe I had just given up looking at that point and felt like, okay, this is as good as it's gonna get for right now, so I'm just gonna stick with it. But the day that I quit was the day when I had just had enough. And I realized I'm better than this. I'm way better than this. I'll never forget it. I've never been good at math. Never been good at math. Why did I choose to be a cashier? Because it was one of the only positions they had open. And you know, I relied on the machine to tell me to change that I needed to give the person. If you ask me to do math off the top of my head, it's probably not gonna be a good day. And this black guy came in and he given me the money for whatever it was that he was purchasing, giving me the cash. I put that in the machine. And he was like, oh wait, no, I got this bill instead. And had given me a bill, and I could not figure out to save my life what his new change was supposed to be, because I had already had the change that the machine had told me like in my hand, and I was figuring it up like, okay, I'm giving him this, and he threw me off, completely threw me off. And he was just like staring at me like, he didn't snap his fingers, because I'm pretty sure if he would have snapped his fingers at me, I would have went off. But he was just like, oh, you can't figure it out? You can't figure it out what you're supposed to do? And my manager at the time was standing right beside me, laughing his tail off at the fact that this customer was going off on me. Now, my manager was a couple of years younger than me. And that was the moment that I knew, I'm better than this. At that moment, Walmart became beneath me. I'll say it. At that moment, Walmart came beneath me, because I will never have someone talk to me the way that man talked to me, and that just be okay. You know, I don't accept that. I don't accept people disrespecting me, and the job just in general was disrespectful. So I remember I clocked out for break. I took everything that belonged to Walmart, ID, knife, badge, whatever I had that belonged to Walmart, I took it and I left it at register 12. And I lived down the street. I went home, like I always go home on my break. I went home, I called that manager that was laughing. I said, I ain't coming back. And I had a new job within 7 days. Hey! So, point being, I want everybody right now to just take a moment, take a second, just look at your life as a whole. Look at the things that are going on in your world. Ask yourself, am I putting up with some stuff right now that is beneath me? Am I putting myself through some stuff that I shouldn't, because I'm compromising my values to make somebody else happy, or to make my family happy, or to make my man or my woman, whatever, to make my kids happy? You know, ask yourself those questions. And if you come to a point where you're like, I really shouldn't be doing X, Y, and Z, it's time to make a change. Values are so important. You need to have them. And most importantly, once you have them, you need to make sure that you're not compromising them for anyone. And I mean anyone. And anyone who tries to get you to compromise who you are and your value system is not somebody who really needs to be in your life in the first place. That's just my opinion, and y'all can tell me what you think. Send me some more questions for Ask Travis. I want to do another Ask Travis video, and I have maybe like one. I want to get 2 more. So send some Ask Travis video questions to scatteredbrilliancy@yahoo.com. It's the name of the channel, @yahoo.com. I'm not going to spell it out today. Make sure you like, rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll probably be talking to y'all soon. I got maybe 2 story times that I'm going to do all in one about some really hood experiences I had while I was in school. So good to talk to you all. I will be talking to y'all really soon, hopefully.